The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready. Me and you all day. I'm coming after you. Be different.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw. Parrish. And right away he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they're going to set up shop at the 27. Yard line.
Here we go. 90 Wolf. All day, every day, any day. Shoot.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. A gain of 3, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Let's go. Get it.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Open man is Samuel, complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Hey, they're scared.
They'll look to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the Panthers stake claim to a 3-0 lead. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now. But the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a first.
First down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
It's a party now. Watch the eye. You draw corpus. Lights 59. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Undercrush. 22 jet bomber. 22 jet. Go.
From the shotgun to give to Jones. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
To throw on second down. Parrish. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Tight down. There you go. Watch the safety creep. General West. Check four.
And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here.
Hey, Charlie.
Second down and inches. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 22-yard line.
First and 10 at the
Go now. 70, Indy. Hey, Wahoo.
They'll look to throw now on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back.
Hey. You got three. Three down.
On second down. It's Bell, and this Green Bay defense making that play look a lot like the previous one. Both tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
The tackle made back at the 25-yard line.
25, check 25. Greystone, travel. Get it.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. Gano's kick is good. 6-0 our score after one. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They find themselves down here after an interception on their opening drive led to a field goal. But all in all, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And they've got the football, and they're already knocking on the door inside the 5 at the 4-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, two hands. Get two hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand. Put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
It is definitely hard to find space near the goal line. You always want to have a guy in the game running it who can create his own.
Second and goal from the 1. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Panthers, they widen their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Check your hot read.
Recon, 132 fighter.
54 Mike. Let's go, D.
Hey, orbit.
Throwing on first down. Parrish gets this to his running back, Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
2nd and 5. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 12-yard line.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jamal Williams, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Tavecchio good on the extra point, and it's now 13-7. So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
March 50, March 50, March 50. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Here's 2nd and 8. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
You got 3 down, 3 down. Here we go. Watch 7. Watch 7. Watch 2.
They're going to look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
There, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. They want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
He's brought down there by Kenny Moore.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Switch it, switch it, switch it. Come on, switch it. 49, check the spot.
Looking to throw on second down. Parrish. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Ready. 15 line. 15 line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And he's going to go down again. K1 short with a sack. That's 315 pounds of man right there. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. That's taken on the 25. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Panthers will take over in terrific field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Ready.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 18. It's a Carolina first down.
That's good for the Panthers. First down.
Ready.
50, Mike's 50.
First and 10 at the 16-yard line.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well.
Let's go now. 18 Gator.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D.
2nd and 14. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Down. 70 Indy.
2 times.
Now Bell. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Let's go, defense. Here we go.
They'll try to run this one in. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. Here's Bell. And he is in. Touchdown, Carolina. Le'Veon Bell. As the first half is winding down. And the Panthers, they widen their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
Let's go.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. So it's halftime here in Charlotte with the Panthers out on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Panthers out in front, and they will get the football first. Second half action underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On second down, it's Bell. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Blue draw quarters.
He'll drop to throw. Flush to his right. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up second down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
Bravo. Ready.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down.
And now offensively, it's 3rd and 10. And I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now, the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. Then he will take it out to the 25-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but
a 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Pilot, 64, weak.
The Panthers take over first and 10.
Slam.
The 38-yard line.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
He'll look to throw. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. Mullins now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They'll set up to throw. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. Back to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Zadarius Smith able to record his 5th sack of the season. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
On first down, Parrish. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Carter. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Off the play fake. Parrish. His throw incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But it'll be second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you've got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Parrish. That's caught. It's Malone. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 36.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. It's Shaq Thompson here with a pick. And it's a big turnover there on the final play of the quarter. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Panthers out in front and in control of the football as well as we begin quarter number 4. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Brings up second and 2.
6-6, bullet high.
Again, it's Bell. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards there, first down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
11 yards and a Panther first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
This is Bell. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Ready to break.
Watch tight end. 3 out, 3 down.
Get it.
Second and 13. Forced out to his left. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
It's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 7.
Ready up.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down.
5.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant to the flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Gano's kick is good. And that will make this now a 19-point advantage. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. Brian Burns has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Brian Burns has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Hey, Haywood.
Check 59, Mike. Mike is 59.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Parrish. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Brian Burns in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. Parrish. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position.
Let's go. Shoot. Watch the shoot.
They'll run on first down. Bell. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. They'll go again with Bell. And he'll take this one down near the 15. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. The Panthers on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to be. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Kenny Moore. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. So this one is over. A victory for Carolina. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Carolina, the win gets them a step closer to 500 at 5-6. They will hit the road next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Packers, it's starting to look like it won't be their year as they drop to 5-6. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.